contact tracing.
We're doing really good contact tracing.
Health experts say we're going to need a small army of contact tracers in the weeks ahead.
Contact tracing.
Contact tracing program.
Contact tracing, we need to staff up for that.
In a crazy world where the authoritarians want your freedom stripped through so-called contact tracing, and in the spirit of true freedom, which is the spirit of resistance and rebellion, comes our brand new shirt. Contact trace this. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. You can get this design on any shirt, hoodie, or mug. The link's in the description and in the pinned comment.
Success in the fight against the coronavirus may depend in part on two things: learning who has the disease and who could get it.
Learning who has the disease and who could get it covers every human being on the planet. They want you to know that no one will be exempt from contact tracing.
Health officials use a method called contact tracing to find out who infected patients may have met.
Contact tracing.
I'm going to add a few things to what Benjamin Franklin said a couple centuries ago. Those who would give away a little essential liberty to obtain a little politically promised public health-related safety and security deserve neither liberty nor security. Allowing contact tracers to take your freedom and right to be secure in your own person and dwelling place is one more step in the advancement of a totalitarian 1984-style dystopian train wreck.
What's happening right now is that we're seeing city, county, and state health departments that are coordinating this effort. But what we're also seeing is that these health departments are actually expanding their rosters of tracers. This happening at the same time that some of the world's biggest tech companies are helping.
There's something you need to remember about governments and the mainstream media. They captivate the minds of the non-critical thinking masses by engaging in wordplay. They use soft phraseology to mask, no pun intended, cruel realities in order to get you to drop your guard. For example, brutal torture becomes enhanced interrogation. Legalized mass murder becomes warfare. An outright war on free people is deceptively hidden by the phrase war on drugs, where criminals are actually created in the eyes of the state out of free people who have neither harmed nor threatened to harm nor stolen someone else's stuff and just want to be left alone. This continuously broadcasting crap, because that's what CBS must stand for, news article entitled, "Lost Your Job? Consider becoming a contact tracer," says, as U.S. unemployment soars to historic levels, remember, not because of the virus that shall not be named, but because of the planned, organized, partial shutdown of the U.S. economy in the second quarter by the Federal Reserve, as admitted by St. Louis Fed President James Bullard. The hottest job of the year could be a lifesaver: contact tracing. And it's a government job paid for by the government with money we don't have to do a job that's going to strip freedoms from Americans. Containing the C virus as the economy gradually reopens has created an urgent need for hundreds of thousands of people trained to identify infected individuals and track down anyone and everyone they could have exposed to the virus. In the absence of a federal plan, some city and state health departments are already seeking to fill thousands of these positions. Experts estimate that between 100,000 and 300,000 contact tracers, who can earn up to $65,000 per year, by the way, with the soon-to-be hyperinflated fiat currency notes, which are on a collision course for worthlessness, will be needed nationwide based on state populations and projected CV-19 infection rates. Here's the bottom line. They want everybody contact traced. They want their freedom stripped, and they're talking about it all the time on state-run, CIA-infiltrated Operation Mockingbird propaganda media.
Contact tracing, tracking down anyone who may have come into contact with a person who has tested positive.
We're doing really good contact tracing.
Mayor Michael Bloomberg has volunteered to help us develop
and implement the tracing program. Tracing operation.
Contact tracing.
Contact tracing, we need to staff up for that.
Contact tracing.
Contact tracing really is a tool to be used for the reopening phase.
Contact tracing is a way to identify people who may have been exposed to the virus but don't know it.
Testing or contact tracing.
Contact tracing program.
Contact tracing is our best hope for isolating the virus when it appears.
In today's Orwellian nightmare, the powers that shouldn't be are using the term contact tracing to kindly convey that they, the government agents who are here to help themselves to your freedom, are coming to your location, threatening to forcefully remove you and even your kids from your home, separate your family, and isolate you in a government-funded facility in order to keep you safe. They're coming to destroy your life and trash your freedoms in the name of keeping you safe and your community safe from a certain virus that hasn't been proven to even exist. Contact tracing is a soft, palatable euphemism for constitution trampling, and they aim to hire an army of government-funded citizen snoops to do the freedom trampling dirty work for them.
Health experts say we're going to need a small army of contact tracers in the weeks ahead.
It will require, under any estimate, a tracing army to come up to scale very, very quickly.
In Salt Lake County, which has more than half of Utah's 3,000 plus COVID cases, they're aggressively stepping up contact tracing.
We know it's important to not just know who the positive case is, but who in an infectious disease who they have been in contact with.
And you might be tempted to think, yeah, they're going to spend all this effort and waste all these resources, but they're not going to require everybody in a household to submit to their contact tracing edicts, right?
Are you testing the people in that house as well when you identify someone who has tested positive for COVID-19?
If it is a household, we do want those family members tested. Yes, because that has been especially close contact.
When they say everybody, they mean everybody. And some governors even want you to keep personal logs of who you've been in contact with.
And it's happening across the country.
I asked you all to start keeping a daily log.
Rhode Island's governor asked everyone in the state to keep a personal log of whom they've encountered.
Guys, look at all these people out in the open on the streets wearing masks. It's like we're not even on the same planet anymore. These people would have never thought to put a mask on their face or shelter in place or practice social distancing if it weren't for the 24/7 state-run propaganda machine called mainstream media. If you want to combat the CV-19 virus, just turn off your TV.
Massachusetts is investing $44 million to hire and train more tracers.
Wasting money they've stolen from the people through taxation and then using those resources to cripple the freedoms of Americans can't be called an investment.
So here I have the list of my contacts.
And in San Francisco, with more than 1,000 cases and at least 20 deaths, healthcare officials use text messaging to communicate with people who've tested positive and their close contacts most at risk.
For every new case, there are 3 to 5 close contacts.
Dr. Mike Reed is with the San Francisco Department of Public Health. They're calling on everyone from medical students to librarians to help them with contact tracing.
In other words, we need an army of snitches to blow the whistle on other Americans so that the government can secure their lockstep world of tighter top-down government control and more authoritarian leadership, as outlined in Rockefeller's 2010 document on page 18, which I'll link in the description. Guys, leave your thoughts about this contact tracing for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below. Don't forget to show your resistance to the Constitution trampling edicts and enforcers by grabbing a Contact Trace This shirt or any one of over 100 hard-hitting designs from the store. The links are in the description and in the pinned comment. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give them a thumbs up, share them with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, HighImpactVlogs.com. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.
deaf and dumb thespians take the silent stages. With their cobweb throats, they can't sing any notes, so the audience begins dispersing. The actors get pissed, they start cursing. They're tired of rehearsing. They're ready to do the damn show. They're ready to go. You know what I mean? Fuck the quarantine. Fuck COVID-19. Fuck a fucking vaccine. Social engineering at the center stage. About to go full circle when we turn the page. Miss Deborah Burks, you old bitch, putting COVIDs on obits and certificates. It's ridiculous.